Baby, JLO said my love don't cost a thing, and this engagement ain't gonna cost me nothing neither. It ain't gonna cost me no time, no money, no stress, no strife, no mental issues in my mind. She said, let me just roll this on back before I gotta pay these damn people to annul this thing later on, or pay all these damn divorce fees to divorce your ass later. Have y'all gotten into this JLO story? You know, the details are a little bit scarce and there's not really a whole bunch to go on, but there's enough nuggets for us to make this a little bit of a hot topic series. So if you have your notes, I have mine. Let's get on into it. So JLO and A-Rod. First off, I love Jennifer Lopez like cook food. So let's just preface this with that. I do not want this to come across as shady in any way. I actually thought that they were already married, so that could just tell you how close I was following this story. So close that I was all the way in the rear view, all the way back there. But that's not the point, okay? Because, you know, I was lost and now I am found, baby. And I don't really know much about Alex Rodriguez other than the fact that he's like a sports legend and just very highly respected in the sports community. But just going off of my notes, you know, they started dating in early 2017 and they got engaged in March of 2019. It's been a 2-year-long engagement and about 4 years together overall. They're ending their engagement to work on their relationship. And allegedly, there's no third party involved, but there was a big blow up, right? And so when I first heard this story, it was shocking. And I sort of had two thoughts. On one hand, if you're in a relationship with somebody for over 4 years, you've been engaged for 2 years, right? And you take a really, really good look at yourself, the situation, the relationship, the life that you've built together over this time, and you decide that it's not serving you anymore, you have the right, as a woman, as anybody, to take a step back or take a step out of that situation if it's no longer serving you. I think sometimes situations can sort of take on a life of their own. And in those situations, it doesn't become, you know, the relationship between you and I anymore. It becomes you, I, and everybody else around this affects, because everyone is going up for this relationship. And because of that, you sort of feel like you have to go through with it for everyone else versus yourself. So I think it takes courage, and I think it takes mental clarity to decide a situation is no longer serving you and to take a step back from it. It's very, very brave, especially in this climate, to take a step back from a situation that has, you know, it has a life of its own. JLO and A-Rod is a movement, as far as I understand it. So kudos to Jennifer on that hand. On the other hand, because, you know, if we're going to do a pro list, we got to do a con list. There had to be some severe fundamental differences, right? Because you would have been better off just perpetuating the damn long engagement, because nobody would have been any of the wiser had y'all not, you know, come out with this statement. When you drop a bomb and you leave little to no details, you open up the floodgates of speculation, right? And so just looking at it on the surface, you rich, he rich. You successful, he's successful. You already have children, he already has children. You know, you built a life for yourself, he's built a life for yourself. You have y'all have integrated your family. Everything is working out in that respect. So what you have to think of it has to be a fundamental difference between he and her in the actual relationship, right? And I'm just speculating. I don't know this to be a fact, but from the outside looking in, everything ancillary in their relationship seems fine in terms of the whole ecosystem around it. It had to be an issue between you and he fundamentally, right? And so, like I said, it's good to take a step back, but it had to be really big for you guys to make an announcement that you're ending the engagement, right? Because like I said, no one would have been any of the wiser if you would have worked out this stuff, you know, behind closed doors. They would have just thought it's just, you know, the longest engagement ever, and they would have left it at that. But the fact that you guys made it known that you're ending this engagement to work on your relationship and you're not necessarily separating yet, it's very telling that something is definitely wrong in paradise. In my mind, what I really think this boils down to is that, and listen, I want full credit if it turns out to be right, but you know, in Hollywood, they do this sort of like, you know, voodoo magic called a conscious uncoupling, where you're taking steps to uncouple, right? But you're doing so in a very conscious manner in terms of respecting everyone who has invested time in this situation, right? So the whole, you know, we're taking a step back from the engagement piece so we could find out whether or not we really like each other, whether or not this relationship is serving us anymore, could be a form of, it could be one of two things. One, it's we're working on this relationship. We really want to get back to the engagement, but for right now, we're going to take that pressure off of us so we can work on it. And in the second vein, it's this was the path of least resistance versus just saying we're completely broken up off rip, right? Because if you rip off the Band-Aid and you say, I'm completely done, then, you know, I feel like this would have been a much bigger news story than it is. Don't get me wrong, it's still huge. But it could be a form of conscious uncoupling in terms of this was the path of least resistance. And let's call it, you know, we're ending the engagement. We're still working on a relationship. And then later on, they can silently, you know, spread in, oh, we actually have left each other entirely. So if it turns out that way, it is what it is. If you guys get back together, I think it's great. I will be following this story for my new Hot Topic series on Dat Damn Dashers. So if you guys have an opinion, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram and Stereo at Dat Damn Dasher. And until the next Hot Topic, I will talk to you guys later. Bye.